Welcome to the Brown Stage Show. Tonight, we're going to do some reminiscing. But before we start, what's going on, fella?
What's good? What's good?
Where you at, Rodney?
I'm right here.
Hey, there he is.
What's good?
All right, what's good, fellas?
Not a whole lot. Don't get shot now. Everybody just.
Hey, so what? Hey, what city you in now, Rodney?
I'm in Youngstown, Ohio.
That's right. That's your home. You from Ohio, right? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We found me a cord.
That's what's up. All right, so let's get started. Who gonna start this thing off?
I'm gonna start off by saying, you all right? By saying, we met.
The vegan wine, I got him.
Boy, hey, it threw a punch at him.
we met. Back in the early '90s and everything, and I know I came by way of I ended up, I went to Savannah, stayed in Savannah for about a year from New York. Then I moved to Atlanta. And that was like 89, 90, I think. And moved to these apartments over there on the west side of Atlanta. And that's when I met these three gentlemen here. And I met Daniel first. We met in like 90, 89, 90. And I met Johnny like maybe 91, 92.
Yeah, it might have been like 91.
And I met Rodney around the same time. So I'm gonna switch it over to you, Rodney. Pretty much, baby. What? Tell them where you from. How you ended up in Atlanta, and we'll go from there.
Well, yeah, I'm from Youngstown, Ohio, and I was born and raised here. And my mom, she brought us down there to Atlanta. We was back and forth from Atlanta, and then when we came back I think it was like the third time or something. And then we moved to Peppermill, and that's when I met all y'all. You know what I'm saying?
What year was that? What year was that?
And I can't.
It had to be like 90, 91, somewhere around.
It had to be like 90, 91.
Yeah,
91. Because I think when I met you, I was in I think I was in the ninth grade.
Yeah.
Ninth grade,
yeah.
Yeah, and yeah. Chuck, when did you move to Peppermill?
Yeah, I think it was around. I think it had to be around 90, 91 as well. Because I was
You're coming where you from? Where you from, Jeff?
Yeah, I was born in Alabama, Mobile, Alabama, where the Mardi Gras started at originally. A lot of people don't know that the original Mardi Gras started in Mobile. Okay. But yeah, I was born in Alabama. Moved to Atlanta when I was about, I think 11, 12.
Yeah.
I've been in Atlanta ever since. So,
Okay.
and the first stop, just like Rodney, the first stop around 11 to 12 when I moved up here was Pepper Mill. Spent the next several years in Pepper Mill, cultivating relationships, a lot of which we still have today.
Yeah.
So Johnny, what brought y'all to Atlanta though? I mean, not Johnny. I mean, Rodney.
I don't know. Like our other part of the family, our cousin stayed down there, and my mother was just trying to find something better than Youngstown. You know what I mean? So that's when we moved back down there because we stayed down there. I forgot where we stayed somewhere. I want to say in not Decatur, but East something. It was East something. I forgot
East
where
Point?
it was at, but
East Wick?
huh? East Point. It was
Okay.
over. It was over by. It was over by the airport.
By the airport. Yeah.
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 And I went to some school over there. I forgot the name of that, but I went to one school over there. Then we left, came back up here. Then we moved back down there, and I went to some. I forgot when. So we stayed in some type of projects over somewhere. I can't.
Yeah.
I gotta ask my mom.
And it's funny because when I first met like when me and Daniel first met, we hit off boom, right off the rip. You know, when I first met Johnny, you know, we hit off right off the rip. But when I first met Rodney, we didn't hit it all right off the rip. and the thing is, man, let me say this. We come from, you know, two parts of the, you know, different parts of the world. So, you know, it was different from what we was normally seeing because you coming from, you know, Ohio, and you know, pretty much when I first met you, off the rip, I didn't take you too well because, you know, just how you just walking through the apartment, like, yeah, I'm bad. Yeah, I'm bad. And it was funny because we really, you know what I'm saying, we never had a conversation, never, you know, say what's up or anything. We just off the rip didn't take to you because you wasn't trying to take that. You just came over there and said, yeah, I'm here. And so it was funny, but you know, long story short, we became close. I don't know how. Do you remember how they even took place? How we even introduced ourselves or anything, Rodney?
I don't even know, man. I know
it had to be through Mike. It had to be through Mike because I think Mike was the mutual person because Mike didn't like you either in the beginning. It had to be through Randy, maybe Randy or Fred. It had to be through Randy or Fred. Yeah, I barely remember.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you, bro.
I mean, you going out, Rodney?
You were fading out.
Oh, okay. I said, me and Randy used to hang out a lot, and then I think I seen Monique, and I used to like Monique walking through the little apartment.
Got you.
All the time, but then I seen Ant, and then I think I started. I can't remember how I met Ant. I think we started shooting pool or something with Ant, Big Ant.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, just in the apartments that we grew up in, like one thing about us over in them apartment, we played sports. We played football, we played basketball, we played a little bit of baseball, but most of the sports we played was physical. And I'm here to tell you. Go ahead, Chuck. What was you about to say?
So now that you mentioned it, I think that's how everybody got cool. We was playing pick 'em up, bust 'em in the middle of Peppermint.
Yeah.
We was playing pick 'em up, bust 'em, and I think that's how we all got cool because that's when we found out that Rodney can play. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think that's how we all got cool after playing pick 'em up, bust 'em, tackling each other, elbowing each other. I think after a couple of them games, we were cool after that.
Yeah, because some kind of way we all became close. And the thing is, man, we had so much
Faded out.
talent. He faded out.
Yeah.
We had so much talent over there in those apartments that if we would all stuck together and play sport together, man, listen, we would have dominated high school football. I mean, we really would have.
Yeah.
And the thing is, once we all did become close, we was a unit, man. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I could recall, different situations where, it was different people because we had people moving throughout the city that came and stayed over there in apartments with us.
Yeah.
And girls would invite guys from other parts of the city, but we wasn't just letting anybody just come over there and just, just run us and take over and everything. And the funny thing is, you being from Mobile, what I'm saying? Me being from New York, Daniel being from Atlanta, and then Rodney being from Ohio.
There you go. There you go. All right, we got you back in here, buddy.
Yeah, my bad. I don't know what.
Yeah, you good. And being Rodney was from Ohio. We all brought a different type of
But see, well, let me say this too. I'm a little older than all these cats right here. So the thing is, it was more than just you guys. It was other cats too. You had Raheem.
Yeah.
You had Raheem. You had some cats from New Orleans, Mike and Robert.
Yep, Tonio.
You had Lindell from New Orleans. Yeah.
Tonio.
Jamaican Joe.
Tonio.
Yeah, and it was a group of us, and everybody.
Yeah, it was a lot of us. It was a lot of us. Yeah.
It was a melting pot
So
of people.
but it was up and down with the age group too.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we all those men, because there had to be about 20 plus of us, and we all, them little apartments brought us together. Them little apartments brought us together.
Yeah, I remember Rodney and his brother used to always eat them beef and chicken noodles, bro. Rodney knew how to do some things to them noodles, bro.
Hey, listen.
You don't remember that, do you, Rodney?
Listen. I just had the conversation with him.
Yeah.
There you go.
Rodney, did you hear what he said?
He freezing up. But
I heard about the noodles.
him and his brother could do some things to them noodles, bro.
Chuck, I just had this conversation with him, man. I said I never had Roman noodles until I met y'all, and then the way he did it, made
the way he did it, bro.
Man.
The way he did them, I'm like, bro, I never had them like this.
What did you do to the noodles, man? He did something special to the noodles, man. Me and him just had this conversation, man. I told him, I said, I've never eaten those noodles until I met you.
There you go.
And I was like,
he's trying to work his way in. Go ahead, man. Keep talking.
Nah, I told him, I said, hey, Rodney, man, I said, I don't know what you did to them noodles. And it's funny because you said the exact same thing, man.
Yeah, man, I used to go by there.
Noodles, man.
Him and his brother, he'll pop them packets, and then he would add some other stuff to them noodles, but I ain't had noodles like that. You know what I'm saying? With just a simple pack of noodles, him and his brother used to do some stuff to them noodles, bro. That thing was delicious.
Rodney, did we just not have this conversation, man?
Right. Yeah,
we just had this conversation. Yeah, man. Just growing up, and the thing is, none of us. Well, Chuck, you did. Your father was in your life, but for the most part, we didn't have, no father figure. Well, we didn't have no fathers, in the household. So we basically had we basically
lean on each other.
Learn from each other, man.
Yeah, we had to lean on each other.
We did, man, and we was a community and a family. We stick together.
Yeah.
I mean, we had brawls with some some outsiders that came over there and
a couple of
who tried to just take over. And we was like, no, man, this is our neighborhood. We was like the Black Panthers. We was like, nah, y'all not gonna just come over and take over, man.
Yeah. Try to get in our pool.
We just represented our neighborhood.
Yeah, we did. We definitely represent our neighborhood. And for the most part, me and Rodney, And the thing is, I had Chuck Johnny. You was younger than us. Dan, you was older than us, and me and Rodney was around the same age group. And the funny thing about Rodney was, I never forget me and me and him. We call ourselves going to we went to a little party, and Rodney being from from a different part of the country, his language was totally different from ours.
Yeah,
Right.
it would hit first. Hit
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
Yeah.
So for us, Rodney was one of them guys that he didn't start nothing, but he
Nah.
would finish it.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And I always knew he had my back regardless to where we was at. You know,
Oh yeah.
whatever the situation was, whatever we was doing, he fell off again.
He about to
Yeah.
pop.
Yeah.
He coming back. He buffing back in.
But yeah, that was the thing about the whole community, which nowadays you can tell that the way kids are raised, the way parents are parenting now, you can live in a neighborhood now and never know your neighbors. You know what I'm saying? And we never had that. So it was one of those, nobody over there would have ever gone hungry, right? Because you can always go to anybody's home and get something to eat.
Yeah.
Right.
Cause like you said, while there wasn't a lot of fathers there was plenty of mothers in the neighborhood, and they always had some on the stove.
It was a lot of love there.
Yeah, man. And we like you said, we stay in and out of each other's household. Rodney, you come from, you have how many siblings?
He froze up
Get,
again.
no, you got to, and plus you got to hit your mute. You got yourself on mute.
No, yeah, he froze up because he just dropped off again.
We got one of them Obama phones.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, man, it was just the sense of community that we had. Like I say, still to this day, a lot of us are still close because of those bonds that we was able to forge so long ago, right? And then that's why when you talk to a lot of folks got new friends. And ain't nothing wrong with new friends, but a lot of us can be in the same spot and nobody ever know our history.
That is
right.
Facts, pure facts.
Even when we hanging out, when people see us, people may see us embrace, but they don't know how long, you know what I'm saying? How long we've been in each other's lives, and how at times, you know what I'm saying, just from a community standpoint, we had to lean on each other. When we lost somebody, you know what I'm saying, everybody came together to support whoever that was going through that grieving process, and so forth and so on. And like I said, nowadays though, most of the kids are raised in the house. They're not raised, they're not allowed to walk to the store, right? Go get no chips, things like that. So there's a lot of things that we got to experience that still mean a lot to us to this day. And I say again, a lot of those things are the main reasons why a lot of us are still as close, either directly or indirectly.
We never fell out. We never fell out. Like
we had disagreements, but it was never. It was never anything that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, it was disagreements. We had to agree to disagree, but it was never to the point to where it was never anything that couldn't be reconciled.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
And we had each other back. We wasn't allowing nobody outside the neighborhood, to try to come in between us.
Nah.
Whether it was a girl, a guy, or anything like that.
Right.
And I remember how we bonded, man. We bonded. And it's a few of us that that's no longer with us, who we lost at a young age. But for the most part, most of us are still here, and we still stay in contact, and we still friends. You talk about over 20 plus, 30 plus years.
Yeah, over 30 something.
Man.
Yeah, over 30 something.
Yeah, I was actually.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Rodney.
Oh no, I was about to say. I remember when we used to be in the playing the pool.
Gazebo.
We used to play fiddle. I could I could barely swim, man. I could never catch y'all.
That's another thing, man.
Y'all
We
you be swimming up some.
yes. How did you learn how to swim, Rodney?
Shoot, I had to learn quick.
Hey,
I
look.
barely knew how, for real.
Listen, our learning techniques was basically you throw a person in the pool.
Fade it back out.
You throw a person in the pool.
Yeah.
And he had to tread water.
Yeah, well, trading is the first thing you learn in swimming.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And it wasn't no, okay, lay on your back, paddle your leg. Nah, we will push you in the pool and tell you tread water.
Yeah.
And we wasn't gonna let you drown, but we sure wasn't gonna let you give up either.
Nah.
So we would, and I mean, we did this to my nephews and them. We did this to my little brother and them. Like, this is how everybody, you know what I'm saying, grew up. You know, we had a gazebo that we all sat around and hung out and tripped out, you know, and laughed and everything. But we learned, like I said, we fed off each other. We learned from each other and we motivated each other, man. It's crazy. Now that I think about it, I'm thinking about it like we was teenagers, you know, being adults.
All right.
We was teenagers being adults.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I never forget, man, the first time that I really realized like my neighborhood got my back, you know, is when we had, you know, a little disagreement with a group of guys.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where we was like, listen, man, we not gonna allow nobody to take advantage of, you know what I'm saying, of each other. We gonna stand strong and we gonna stand tall, and that's what we did, man. That's what we did. Rodney, how many siblings you got?
I got 3 plus I got 4 altogether, but y'all only know 3 of them.
And you were the oldest.
Yeah,
Then
the oldest.
Then your brother comes up on you. Then your 2 sisters.
T-Bone and Kanata.
Okay. Yeah. But so Jay, you moved down straight from Mobile.
Went to Sutton Middle School. So yeah, when I first got here, I was in middle school. So I moved from Alabama to Atlanta. I was getting in trouble, so that's the reason why I got sent up here. Pat and Larry was already up here. They had been up here a couple of years before I got up here. I think they was up for like probably 2, maybe 3 years before I got sent up here. But I was getting in trouble down there because that in Mobile, you know, Pat and Larry, those were my siblings. You know what I'm saying, with the exception of my stepbrothers and then my younger siblings. But as far as close in my age range, it was Pat and Larry. So when they moved up here, and my pop and them separated, then it was just me. You know what I'm saying? Now, I did have other cousins. We got a bunch of family down there, but they were my closest as far as siblings at that particular point in time. And to my younger siblings. But again, they were too young. Then my sister was older, so she was doing other things, so it was just me. When Pat and Larry now went here, it was just me. So once they actually left, it was me. And so I started getting in trouble and things like that. And so what my daddy did is just said, I'm going to send you up there with your cousin now. So that's how I wound up getting to Atlanta, getting in trouble in Alabama.
Gotcha. And then you moved to Atlanta. Yeah. And for me, my mother, she, you know, my sister brought us here. I was in New York and moved to Savannah for like a year, to probably about a year, and then, you know, my sister moved us to Atlanta because
which one? Lorraine or Grace?
Grace.
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 Grace was already living there before Cleveland got there. Grace was already living there.
Yeah, and so to me, it was one of the best things that, you know, that could happen, because, you know, once we left New York, it was like it was it was crazy. You know, most of my friends was getting locked up. Most of them was, deceased.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So moving to Atlanta was one of the best things that could have happened.
Right.
And I pretty much it took me a while to adjust.
Oh yeah.
Dan, you made it.
You still adjusting. You still adjusting.
Nah,
you will not let that New York accent go, boy.
I mean, hey, I mean, it's in me.
Hey, he can't. Hey, Daniel, he can't tell you how to get to the corner store in New York no more.
Look, I go every other year just so I can remember.
To stay up on it. Yeah, just to stay up on it.
But I mean, I'm from Atlanta. I mean, when people ask me, I tell them I'm from Atlanta, but I tell them by way of New York because I've been here so long. But what I would say is I learned a lot in Atlanta, and I don't think I would have, the man that I am is based off of the relationships I made in Atlanta and pretty much the people that that I met in Atlanta. I can easily say I wouldn't have probably turned out like this if I would have stayed in New York, but for the most part, Atlanta made me who I am. Me going like me being around Daniel, being around Tonio, being around Redhead, like different people that was older than me who basically got me, took me around through the city and introduced me to different places. Yeah. Because in New York, in Brooklyn, you probably never leave Brooklyn. You probably just stay in Brooklyn.
Yeah, shop in Brooklyn, all that. Go to school in Brooklyn, shop in Brooklyn. Yeah.
But here in Atlanta, we used to be in Decatur. We used to be in, Stone Mountain, Douglasville, just everywhere.
Yeah, all over the place.
Yeah. And being around guys that was mobile and moved around, wasn't, just stuck to they same neighborhood. I took on those same values. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna ride through the city too. I'm gonna ride to this place, ride to that place.
So Rodney, what's your current status right now? You married? Got how many kids you got? Bring us up to speed, bro.
Oh yeah, okay. I put up my black book. You know what I'm saying? I found a nice special lady. Now, so, yeah, I got 7 kids. One a step kid. By her. But I got 7 kids, 3 boys and 3 girls, plus another girl. Married a beautiful wife, Angela Bibbs. And we just bought our home up here.
Congratulations,
bro. Congratulations, bro.
And that's it.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah. Living life, being blessed up here. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, and one of the things I can't say about you, Rodney, man, you a hustler by trade, man.
Oh yeah.
I remember. I know you ain't gonna give me credit for this, but I was the first person to teach you how to get on that pool table and play a little pool. But
you got my game up a little bit there. You got my game up.
But it's something because we grew up on the west side of Atlanta, but it was a pool hall it was a laundry mat that was right across the street from us. Yeah. And when I tell you we was young, we was 16, 17. I don't even think we was that old. We was about 14, 15. Over in the pool hall, gambling, playing for money. We playing grown men and we spanking them. Yeah, and we used to be over there spanking them guys' butt, man. And it was crazy because with that same skill, I took it on to as I got older, I started going to the clubs, playing pool for money. And then when I went off to college, it was a whole nother level.
Yeah.
It was a whole nother level. And
Cleve, you had a pretty good pool game.
yeah, I know.
You was more of a banker.
Oh yeah. That was my thing. That's where the money. Where you put your money at in the bank, right?
My game, I'm a cutter.
You put your money in the bank. Yeah, you put your money in the bank. So that was my thing.
I'm a cutter.
Yeah, you did. You did your thing on that table.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we grew up. Yeah, around grown men, and we was learning how to maneuver through life, man. Young, real young.
So I know Jay got to go, man. I know Jay be leaving pretty soon. So anything on your mind, Jay, or anything you want to say, man, go ahead and get it off.
Well, I just want to say, hopefully y'all will do a part 2 and a part 3 to this, because like you say, it's a lot of us.
Plenty of us not here.
Yeah, that's not here. But again, man, like I said again, I'm a lot of times you don't know what you got until it's gone. You know what I'm saying? The fact that we're no longer in Peppermill, it just makes you appreciate those type of relationships even more. Because a lot of these new relationships can tend to be fickle, right? And so that's when you know the difference between real relationships. Like for example, the fact that you was able to reach out to Rodney, you know what I'm saying, and that was enough of a relationship there to where that man, he didn't dropped off and came back 14 times on the show. Right. You know what I'm saying? But it was important. It's important enough for him to come back and tell his story, because again, those relationships and those bonds that we pulled together was so important. Like you say, from the pool hall to drumstick, getting them Salisbury steaks from Crowder Street. You know what I'm saying? From the Piggly Wiggly, right? From walking up the Bolden Place. All those things is so different now. If you go over there, the little park we used to play on, right across the street from Peppermint, the park across the street.
The Carnet Way Park, yeah.
Yeah, the Carnet Way Park. A lot of those houses over there are still there. However, that shopping center looks completely different.
Oh yeah.
Completely different over there.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Peppermill ain't even what it used to be, because they pushed a lot of people out. I think they paid them to leave, but they forced a lot of those people out of there. So
they forced
the infrastructure is still standing because it's historical.
Yeah.
Peppermill was one of the oldest housing projects. I think not just here in Atlanta, but in the South. Along with Techwood.
Yeah.
So we were definitely a part of something, man. And out of that.
Yeah.
It's one of the oldest housing projects.
That's why they didn't tear it down. That's why they didn't tear it down.
You said housing project?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why they wouldn't tear it down.
It wasn't a housing project when we moved up there, though.
It's historical.
Yeah, it's historical, but it wasn't a housing project. It wasn't Atlanta, like AHA, Atlanta Housing Authority.
No,
you sure?
No, it wasn't.
I'm trying to think of how did they label it?
It wasn't. It's historical as far as it's grandfathered in from the time of its being erected as a building.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a housing authority. It's not a project.
Okay.
That's how people was able to qualify for.
Yeah.
That's how they was able to qualify for those apartments. Yeah, it was.
So a lot of people paying $200 a month over there.
Yeah, it was.
Really?
Yeah.
$200 or $300 a month.
Afford to stay over there.
Yeah, man. I'm
telling you.
It wasn't housing authority though.
It didn't start out like
no,
that.
You're talking about what you're saying. I think what both of you guys are saying is based off certain people's income.
Yes.
But that's not public housing. It's not government ran. It's not ran by the government.
Oh, I thought it was. Yeah, I thought it was government assisted.
No, it might. No, it has. You have government. You have what it is. Each apartment complex can file for something through the government where they can get something where it's like
they get vouchers.
It's like, it's similar to vouchers, but it's like where they can charge somebody based off the income if somebody low income, but it have to be a certain percentage that they allow on the property. And that's the agreement that they get so they can get the government funding. That's how that works. But they're not a government project. They're not a government, they're not even owned by the government. That's what I'm saying. They're not owned by the government. But as far as anything historical when it's depending on what city that it come from. Yeah, you could be grandfather. It could be an old house. If it's built a certain amount of time, then they won't knock it down or whatever, or they'll try to keep it because they're considered as what's that word I'm looking for? Keep fading out on me. Dang, I forget the name of the word. But that anyway, my point that I'm making is if it's a certain amount of time that the building been up, then they won't bother it. They're protected.
Yeah, his grandfather then.
Yeah, but it's another word for it. It's not correct. Yeah, man. But yeah, that's cool though. That's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I it definitely changed my life moving out of the projects, moving there. You know, I was able to see things a little bit different, you know, meet different kind of people. That's what I really loved about it the most, because I was dealing with everybody from all different places. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So it was a melting pot. You know?
And we did have, you know, the crack epidemic did come through there, you know, and affected, you know, where we live. But at the same time, for the most part, people living there was, you know, they wanted something better for their family. You know, they moving there was like,
in the beginning it wasn't like that. In the beginning it wasn't like that. Yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
And for the most part, yeah, man, we became a strong community. And hey, listen, we gonna definitely do a part 2, because we have plenty of guys, we know we could bring on here and they could tell stories and, you know, give a little bit, you know, more of their background. Because like I said, Peppermint was a melting pot. It had people all over the United States. Hell, we even had some guys from, you know, Jamaica that moved.
Jamaica Joe?
Yeah.
Jamaican Joe?
Paul
Brother Robert.
Yeah, Robert.
And what? Ippolito? What his name?
Paul didn't live in Peppermill though.
Nah, but they all hung over there. They all hung over there. Yeah. But for the most part, yeah, man, we was definitely a family.
I don't know what's wrong.
You
still good, brother. Don't worry. You still good.
Yeah, you still good. That next time you gotta have to do it on the desktop. You got to do it on the desktop next time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, next time you do it on the desktop, it'll be better. Did he freeze?
Yeah, he's frozen again.
Yeah, but so I mean, it's like 38 minutes up into here. I really want to say, fellas, I appreciate y'all. You know, just us growing up together, us being able to, you know, bond the way we did. Now us adult, and one of the things that we have to do, man, what I really want us to do is at least once a year, you know, where we come together and bring our families, you know what I'm saying, together, so that they could see, you know, what real brotherhood and what real, you know what I'm saying, people
community look like.
Yeah, what a real community look like. So I definitely want to, you know, in the summertime start, you know, once a year, like I said, where we come together and you know, do cookouts. We just do a whole, you know, 2 or 3 day, you know, activity to where, you know, our families get a chance to meet each other and see each other.
Right.
Because we come a long ways.
Boy. You know how that used to be, boy. You know, we weren't supposed to see, what, 18, 21?
Nah.
The way they had it all set up, we weren't supposed to see 18 to 21.
That's what they told us.
That's what they told us. So, and that's why I say when you look back on it, man, you don't realize what you had until it's gone. And like I said, that community now, it's still in our hearts. But when you move in new areas and new communities, you don't get that same community feel and collaborative effort amongst families as we did in Peppermill. You don't get that in newer communities.
And to be honest with you, I think it has a lot to do with because we had to depend on each other. You know, now everybody is so, you know, have good jobs. making good money, and they don't feel like they need nobody. But back then, we really had to depend on each other for a lot of things.
Yeah, but
And it wasn't always about money. It was just, just struggle. People
yeah,
went through heartaches. People
yeah.
lost loved ones.
Hey, let me tell you something. I appreciate Checkers back then, Bucker. That 99-cent Checker burger was the thing, wasn't it? That 99
Hey, but
that
listen,
99-cent Checker burger, that 99-cent Checker burger, and
listen.
them noodles Rodney used to make, them things that got us through, bro.
God bless his soul. Look, all we had to do was go to Burger King. I mean
Yeah,
McDonald's.
yeah.
McDonald's.
Oh, yep.
We had Ant.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Ant worked at Baskin Robbins. Then he went from Baskin Robbins to McDonald's. Like that whole community. If you think about it, we had Domino's Pizza.
Yeah.
We had
I forgot about Baskin Robbins.
Yeah, we had Baskin Robbins. We had Crickets. Like everything
JL,
in that whole look.
We had JL Crickets.
Listen, we knew everybody. We knew owners. We knew managers. We knew everybody. Even the Indian people who owned the laundromat. They was cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And let us, basically move how we want to move. Because we set the tone. We let them know, look, if you over here in our community and we spending our money with you, you're gonna have to be a part of this community.
Oh yeah. Yeah, even at the service station, but that was across the street, but kind of behind Drumstick.
Yeah.
They just recently turned that into something else, but it was there for a long time.
Yeah. But we made the community, we made the stores and everything around it. They had to support us. They couldn't be over there just taking our money and then treat us like anything.
Nah,
we wasn't hearing that.
But they wasn't they were the type of people though at the time.
They wasn't.
Yeah.
They wasn't.
They didn't have that stigma. They didn't have that preconceived notion about the people in the neighborhood because that was not a bad neighborhood.
Mm-mm. It wasn't.
Compared to the inner city, that was not a bad neighborhood. So they was okay. They was okay with what they did.
Now you went 2 miles down the road, you cross over into a totally different, because we was like the beginning of Buckhead.
Yeah, Margaret Mitchell. That's what they call it. They call it I can't think of what they call it, but they are affiliating that with the early, like the beginning of Buckhead right now, where Margaret Mitchell and all that started, where Mike and them stayed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. We was able to go to school with kids, who were well off.
Yeah.
And that was another thing, being the era that we lived in. Because them apartments, like we said, they was in the beginning of Buckhead.
Yeah.
So we was able to, go to school and be around kids who was.
Yeah, because it was a Buckhead area code.
Yeah.
Yep.
Buckhead area code.
Yep. That's how we was able to go to North Atlanta.
Yeah, and I had a chance to go to Archie. I
was
going to go to Archie. I was going to go to Archie with Daniel, but I didn't. I went to Sutton, then I went to North Atlanta. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah. But
all right, fellas, I just want to say I love y'all though, man. I got to get out of here, man. Like I said, please have a part 2, part 3.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, and definitely we'll continue to support the show and share the show as well. So love y'all, brothers, man.
Love you too. Be easy, man.
All right.
Hey, Rodney, hey man, you be no stranger, bro.
That's enough, man. I don't know what's the world going on.
We gonna have to get you on the desktop next time, man. But
let me know when it's something. Definitely get back on, man.
Okay. All right, man. Well, listen, take it easy, man. Tell your moms and everybody I said hello. And
like, share, subscribe.
Yeah. Matter of fact, you can share this with your family, man. Share this with your sisters and your brother and your mom, man.
Okay, for sure, man. I love y'all.
All right, man. Be easy, man. All right.
Peace out. Salute.
Peace.
All right.
Sure.